Here we go. One shot, one hit.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Scope Light. We got a windy one out here today at the range. But yeah, we're gonna be collecting dope to develop our dope card further. This is still a rifle I'm getting set up. You've seen it before, I'm sure, if you follow me on social media. Right now I'm getting everything dialed in, so when I take this out to my next PRS match, hopefully I'll be able to dominate. Probably not though. It's not spray painted yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off on painting it until I got everything precisely where I want it. Right now I'm confirming 0. I'm out at 100. Depending on where my shift is, I may dial it in and then move back. So stay tuned. All right, so I just fired 5 shots from 100 yards. Unfortunately, my camera didn't record that, but walking down here, we're gonna see our shots here. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the size of my thumb. It's about an inch. I'm gonna let the rifle cool down because I'm trying to obtain cold bore data with these conditions. Yeah, once the rifle cools down, I'm gonna fire another 5 shots. I'm gonna put another pasty up on the target, and you'll see where we're at there. All right, so while I'm waiting on the rifle to cool down, I'm shooting Hornady Black. The rifle likes this the best from what I've found. I've sampled about 5 different selections, and this is what it grouped the best with. Surprising to me, anyhow. Yeah, we have 168 grain AMAX. So far, I'm able to keep a sub MOA group with the Hornady Black, but I'm continuing to play with different things. Like I said, once I get this rifle completely dialed in, this isn't going to be an overnight project. This isn't going to be a week-long project. As I get out here, sample different things, see what works, what doesn't. But yeah, the rifle's about cool enough, so we're going to get another cold bore shot. I put another sticky on the target. I was able to just cover my 5-shot group with the other pasty, so I'm satisfied with that group. So yeah, we're gonna take another shot at 500 or at 100, and if we're satisfied with that, we're gonna move back to 200 and give that a shot. All right, so that was 5 shots. They were going over to the left a little bit. I don't know if I was pulling them or not. I didn't feel like it. They felt good. They're all a consistent group. But yeah, once I get down here, I'll show you what they look like. All right. So here's 5 shots. My point aim is here. They're over here. So I'm pretty satisfied with this. So I'm gonna make some adjustments. Wait for the rifle to cool down, fire another 5 shots, see what that group looks like. All right, guys, I just wanted to show you this. The netting that I had over the silencer initially, those rounds just punch right through it. That's a non-issue. If you're looking to break up the black circle in the silencer while you're set up in an FFP, this is a good way to do it. As you can see, my groups were consistent, so that's not changing the trajectory in any way. I mean, it's just going to punch right through that. And the scope here is covered with the same netting I have on the silencer, but I have it covering the scope, and then I have some 3D camo vegetation wrapped around the scope from Prictical Tactical. I got that from. As you can see, the scope has some shadow inside, but it's 3-dimensional. And that's going to be really hard for an observer to detect at distance. Made our adjustments. We're going to fire 5 more shots, see where we're at. What happened here was the last round was bumped off of the extractor. Pushing the bolt forward, I pushed that round into the chamber, inducing the double feed.
I initially heard the sound. When I went to investigate, I saw fresh rounds in the magazine and didn't bother to investigate further. This was a mistake on my part, and I know better.
So we had a failure to extract on the last round that we fired. I didn't notice, but you see, you get double feeds even on bolt guns too. So it's not subject to just semi-autos. So you gotta know how to clear those out. All right, let's go have a look. So making the adjustments, I moved right 0.5, and it seemed to correct it. They're dropping just below where I want, and that's fine. But it looks like on my first shot, I went to the right here. I'll show you. All right, so that was my first shot. Second, third, fourth, right in here, and then fifth. So again, happy with that. That's my thumb, and those almost, my thumbnail almost covers those. So that's at 100 yards. Satisfied with those. So we're gonna move back to 200. All right, guys. Now before we go ahead and move on here, there's a couple things I want to touch on. How I rapidly cool a rifle is I remove the suppressor cover, let the air touch the outside of the suppressor. If the suppressor cover's on there, it's kind of containing that heat. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and let the suppressor cool off naturally. Now you see I have my bolt open. Now not only is that safer, it's letting constant airflow through the system, right? So letting the air get inside and out to cool that barrel is going to be useful to keeping things cold in between shots. Also, if you go ahead and close your bolt and your system is really hot, say you're doing Overwatch and you fired, multiple rounds and your system is really hot, letting that round cook off in the chamber is gonna affect your trajectory, right? You can shoot 5 to sometimes 9/10 higher. This is why getting out here and collecting data, you can apply that to whatever it is your situation may be. Leave that round in the chamber as few seconds as possible. All right, so we're here setting up another target. I just got some really high speed printer paper here from Amazon and these little pasties also from Amazon. I just go ahead and stick that right in the center. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, right? This is just a target, right? We're not shooting silhouettes or anything. We're just collecting data. If you have grid, if you have a grid paper, you want to get a target with a grid system on it, that is also super useful as far as making your corrections. But right now, just regular printer paper, it's gonna get the job done. All right, so I am noticing as I'm shooting here, my cheek rest is actually dropping. I have it witness marked, and I'll show you here, but it's actually dropping as I shoot, which is interesting. So I wonder if I'm gonna have to go ahead and tighten some things up. But yeah, that's something to look for. That's why it's good to witness mark your stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fire 5 more shots and see where we're at. And then we're going to go to shoot at a steel target. Yep. All right, so I went up and put a whole new target up, new paster, new backdrop. So I'm going to take 5 shots. Got this pretty dialed in at 200. And if I'm happy with the results, we're going to end the video by taking a nice cold bore shot at 500. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, so my camera stopped recording, unfortunately. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I ended up firing 9 shots. I want to leave the 10th one for the 500 cold bore, but I'm gonna flip the camera around here. All right, so these are my 9 shots at 200 yards. And again, this is an inch sticky. I mean, there's my thumb. I'm pretty happy with these. Obviously, I would like them all touching. That's a skill issue. But yeah, so happy with the results. I'm going to go ahead and clean up here and racing against the sun once again. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up here, do a cold bore for you guys, and then we're going to go ahead and end the video there. Yeah, this is a Sig Cross in 308. I upgraded with the full-length rail. Had I done my research, I would have realized that they do make that model, and I wouldn't have had to customize it. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with it so far. Accuracy is pretty good. Only issue I've ever had was that failure to extract earlier that you guys saw, interestingly enough. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take the shot here, cold bore, and see if we're on target. Definitely gonna have to drop these tripod legs. All right. So I already looked at my data, so I know where my hold is. I'm just gonna hold over for this distance, see if we get a one-shot hit here. There we go. One shot, one hit. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Scope Bite. Hanging out with me while I get dope on this rifle. Like I said, I apologize about the wind. Wind is really crazy today. Hopefully this helps you guys out in collecting data. And when it comes to setting up your rifle, you have a little bit more of an understanding on how to do it. Now, I use the Hornady app to collect all my data in, and it gives me a shooting solution, and I just go ahead and mark that down on a book. All right, guys, until next time, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching the channel. Like, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff. I hate saying this, it sounds so corny, but it does help the channel out and helps get the audience built up so I can continue making these videos and I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself. All right, guys, until next time, see you later.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning.